Hi, my name's Shona. I'm one of the adventure experts here at the Adventure People. Today we're going to be answering, or I'm going to be answering, a few questions that come up quite a lot about Jordan, one of our most popular destinations, and maybe a few other questions you haven't thought of yet. You should go to Jordan because it's really just one of those places that's it's still reasonably close, but it feels much further away. It feels like quite a different culture to visit, really exciting destination if you're looking for something like that. Some of the highlights of Jordan are, Petra is, if not the highlight, definitely a highlight. I'm sure if you're looking at Jordan or even just the region, then you'll have heard of Petra, and even if you're not, then Petra you've probably seen pictures. It's just, even those pictures, they just don't get across how spectacular it is and how big a site it is as well. Like, I've been to quite a lot of historical sites, and it really is one of the best, if not the best that I've been to. It's just the size of it and how well preserved it is, because it's in the desert. The air is very dry, so you can still see so much of the old city. Such an interesting history. That's spectacular. You don't really get that from a lot of the pictures you see online. You just see that one bit that you see just coming down the canyon that you would enter Petra from, which is a really spectacular in itself, like a natural canyon. And then you see the picture of just the first temple, but that's just the beginning of what you would see if you spend a day or maybe 2 days in Petra. You can spend a whole day like wandering around, exploring the city. You can climb up quite a few places and have this amazing view over the desert and the city itself. So that's definitely a highlight. And then the Wadi Rum is probably the kind of number 2 of Jordan, and it is a really, really spectacular desert. And if you've not been to a desert before, people have an idea of desert in their head that's like really lovely rolling sand dunes. To be honest, most deserts are not like that. Deserts are just flat. They're just places where nothing is kind of the definition of a desert. But the Wadi Rum is really, really beautiful. It's just a lot of mountains kind of rising off of this amazing red sand. The air is again really dry there. It's quite close to Petra. So the view at night of the stars is really, really incredible. And during the day there's loads of different activities to do. Like, you can be in a camel, you can go in a jeep, like loads of different things. And most tours involve kind of different standards of a 1 night or a 2 night camp there, which is really, really beautiful. An experience that you won't forget. Food is great, that's a highlight. There's also the Dead Sea, which you've probably seen someone floating in with a book or a newspaper. That's great. You can get some nice mud on your face and have some wonderful skin afterwards. That's included in most, because it's on the way to most of the other places that you would see. So it all joins up really nicely. There's no enormous journeys in a Jordan holiday. And then there's the Red Sea in the south, which is a great destination just to stop off at for a couple of days, just for a bit of chilling. Maybe a boat trip, which is lovely. I did that quite a lot, and it's just a lovely end to a tour where you've been in the desert and now you're on the Red Sea in a boat. It's a lovely comparison. Good scuba diving or diving if you were interested in that kind of thing. And there's also a lot of different historical sites. Jerash in the north, which is a really well-maintained Roman ruin, which is quite close to Amman, so you could visit that. So I think that's the main highlights, but there's plenty of other things to see as well if you want to get a little bit off the beaten track. Especially if you're coming from the UK, it's really easy to get to Jordan. Really lovely airlines going there. I have generally really good experiences with them. They upgraded me once because it was my birthday, so I'm like, everyone goes to Jordan. It's from the UK in particular. From London you can get direct flights, they're about 5 hours. And you can go in direct, obviously, as always, if you're willing to spend a little bit of time transferring in, just to save a bit of money. And you get into Amman, which is the capital. We can generally organise your transfers there, which would make that super easy. Get off the plane, someone's waiting for you, and they're going to take you straight to the hotel. So just give us a shout if you'd like to know a little bit more about that. And yeah, Amman is a lovely place to visit as well. The best time to visit Jordan is, I mean, you can go out with the kind of peak of summer, like July, August, just going into September. You can go most of the year and it's going to be lovely. Spring and autumn are the most popular times to go. The weather is kind of perfect. But like anywhere, if you go in the peak times, maybe flights are just slightly more expensive, so you can also go right through the winter, which is obviously a great time to escape the winter back home for many of us. And it's not going to be super cold. It's going to be obviously much warmer than at home. It's going to be a little bit colder during the night in the desert, but I've been there for New Year, Christmas, and it's a lovely place to be. So one of the questions we maybe get a little bit more about Jordan is whether it's safe to go to. I think maybe people associate in their head the Middle East. There's some instability obviously in some regions, but Jordan is actually one of the safest countries to visit in the world. We very rarely hear about things happening there, and the Foreign Office as well will say that. I've never felt at any point being in Jordan unsafe, and I walk around much more than the average person, kind of by myself independently in cities, everywhere we went, and I never felt for a moment unsafe. Obviously, like anywhere, you need to be aware of your surroundings. Don't walk around with money out of your back pocket, but no more than at home. We also get some questions sometimes about travelling to Jordan as a woman. There is Islamic countries that you do have to dress differently, but very few of them. I think one or two off the top of my head. And Jordan is definitely not one. Jordan really puts a lot of work into its tourist industry. It gets cruise ships into the south, so it's definitely not a destination where you would have to kind of overthink what you're wearing, etc. Like you do if you want to be respectful, which would be lovely. It's not really appropriate to kind of go to Petra in your bikini. You will see people in Petra in their bikinis. It doesn't mean it's a great idea. It doesn't give the best impression, and it does come across, it just looks informal, and it's not very respectful to people from a different mindset coming to see one of the greatest parts of the country that everybody's really proud of in extremely informal clothing to their eyes. But generally you can wear vest tops, you can wear shorts. If you were going into a mosque, you would not do that. So obviously have a look at what you're doing each day. But generally your tour leader, your guide would tell you that anyway. But generally you can wear fairly similar clothing to what you would in the West, taking into account what you're doing each day. And again, I never had any problems with, and I was working there, so I never had any problems with how the men that I was working with perceived me, or a lack of respect, or anything like that. But actually, I was having a quick look, and we have a really interesting tour on our site for just women. So you're only allowed to go on it if you're a woman. It sounds great. I'll go on it. You can do things as a woman that you can't do as a man in Jordan, like you can be within the space that is only open to women, like more private kind of businesses, or if they're working in the home. And yeah, have a look below. I'm sure there's a link. It looks like a great one if you are thinking about Jordan and you are a lady, then have a look at that one. So if you're thinking about going to Jordan, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it encouraged you to visit. There's plenty of links below with some of our different holidays and trips, and if you do have any questions about Jordan, or of course anywhere at all, then just get in touch with us. You can call us, we've got chat on the website, or just pop us an email. We'd love to help. Thanks very much.